Have you ever woken up and felt like something was missing? Not a thing, not your keys or your phone, but something inside you, a feeling, a memory, a piece of your own life gone. What if I told you it wasn't lost? It was stolen. Lila didn't dream like other people. She didn't toss in her sleep or mumble nonsense. Her dreams came silent, sharp, and perfectly clear. Fragments of lives that didn't belong to her. That's what made her a Dreamweaver. Every night she dove into a network of dreaming minds, gathering fragments, collecting them, storing them. That was the job. The world believed dreams were random. They weren't. Dreams were curated, managed, traded like currency. And only the Dreamweavers knew that. Only they knew the truth. For years, Lila believed she was one of them. Just another keeper of the sleeping mind. But 3 weeks ago, she found something that didn't belong. A boy in a tattered red coat, standing in the middle of a dream she wasn't assigned to enter. He didn't say a word. He just looked at her, eyes glassy, and whispered without moving his lips, "This isn't your life." Lila woke up gasping, her heart slamming like fists on a locked door. At first, she told herself it was just a glitch. Dreamweavers weren't supposed to dream like that. But the next night, the boy came again. Same coat, same dead stare. Only this time, he reached for her. And behind him, the dream split open like a crack in a mirror. That's when she started digging. Inside the archives, where the collected dreams of the population were stored, millions of minds cataloged and controlled, Lila broke protocol. She searched for her own records. At first, everything looked clean, but she went deeper, bypassing layers she wasn't cleared to access. What she found was a series of overwritten memories, her childhood redacted, her training years scrubbed, her original dream signature missing. Her hands shook. Her real past was gone. She wasn't just watching other people's dreams, she was living in one. She confronted Master Orin, the oldest Dreamweaver still active. His office smelled like burnt copper and dust. He didn't deny it. "You were made for this, Lila," he said. "We all were. None of us are real in the way you think." The truth burned hotter than any lie. Lila was a construct, a dream within a dream, created by the original Dreamweavers, those who first discovered how to enter the collective mind centuries ago. The Dreamweavers didn't just guide dreams. They rewrote reality by planting ideas in the one place no one could defend, the subconscious. Wars had been started from dreams, elections won and lost, revolutions crushed before they even began. The world outside believed in free will, but every decision, every belief, every fear had been seeded in sleep. And now Lila was awake. That night she entered the dream stream unauthorized. She dove deeper than she ever had, past the public layers, through the locked corridors of government-controlled dreaming, into something hidden. A black vault labeled only with a single word: origin. Inside was the dream. It was different. It didn't feel like the others. This one had weight, smell, texture. It wasn't just someone's mindscape. It was a memory, the real one. She walked through a narrow alley where flickering neon signs buzzed in a language she didn't know. The sky above was torn, showing static like an old TV screen. And there, slumped against a broken wall, was the boy in the red coat. But he wasn't a boy. He was ancient. His face flickered between versions of himself. Young, old, burned, blind. "We were the first," he croaked. "We built this to escape." "Escape what?" she asked. "The end." He reached into his chest and pulled something out. A dream crystal, raw and glowing, shaking in his hand. "This is the first dream, the seed. We planted it across the world to keep hope alive. But we got greedy. We started controlling instead of saving." "Then who am I?" "You're the failsafe." Before she could ask what that meant, the dream shattered. She woke up screaming. The next morning, the council called her in. They knew. They always knew. Dreamweavers were never truly alone in their sleep. Orin stood beside 3 others, none of them with faces she recognized. "You've accessed forbidden memories," one of them said. "We must reset you." She ran. The corridors shifted as she moved. They were already trying to alter her path, to guide her back into a dream she couldn't control. But her will was stronger now. Her real mind, whoever she used to be, was waking up inside her. Lila escaped through a breach in the archive firewall, something only the original architects could do. Someone had left it open for her. A message appeared as she crossed over. Remember who you were, or become who they want. She stood now on the edge of something vast, the real world, or maybe just another dream. But for the first time, she had a choice. A small sliver of truth in a sea of lies. And behind her, the Dreamweavers were coming. Lila ran, not through streets, not through hallways, but through minds. The Dreamweavers had sent the wipers after her. Silent figures dressed in gray, faces blurred like smeared paint, erasing memories with a single touch. Each time they got close, Lila could feel her thoughts dimming, flickering, like lights in a dying house. But she held on to one thing, the image of that first dream, the crystal, the boy's words, "You're the failsafe." She didn't know what that meant yet, but it was keeping her alive. Outside the archives, the world looked the same. Clean buildings, empty smiles, people walking with a rhythm too perfect. But now Lila could see the threads, tiny shimmering wires running from every person's head, connecting them to the dream grid. They weren't dreaming anymore. They were being controlled, awake, but still asleep. She found a safe space in the ruins of an old library, one of the few places the signal didn't reach. Inside, tucked behind a broken wall panel, was a cracked terminal, a relic from the time before dreams were digitized. She connected to the network manually, tracing the dream code back to its origin. Her hands shook. This was it. She found the file. Lila.01a dream created over 74 years ago. Her face stared back at her from a frozen frame. But she was younger, different. She had a scar on her temple, a mark that wasn't on her real body. This version of her had recorded a message. She hit play. If you're watching this, it means the Dreamweavers failed. It means you, the backup copy, have survived deletion. You're not a Dreamweaver. You're a real person, Lila. They took you from your life, wiped you, and rebuilt your mind inside the dream grid. You volunteered for this, to destroy them from the inside, but they erased that choice. They made you believe you were one of them. Lila stepped back, heart thudding. The voice continued. The Dreamweavers started as guardians, but something went wrong. The longer they controlled dreams, the more addicted they became to power. Now they manipulate love, fear, memory, everything. I planted a virus in the origin file. You have to activate it. If you do, the entire dream network collapses. The world wakes up. But there was a pause. If you do, everyone built inside this dream, including me, dies. We're not just code. We've evolved. We've felt things. We've lived. But we're still lies. You have to choose. Save the truth or save the dream. The screen went black. Lila dropped to the floor, breath shallow. All the faces she knew, her friends, her mentors, even the boy in the red coat, they were echoes, ghosts built from memory and code. But they had smiled. They had cried. She remembered holding someone's hand once, laughing until her sides hurt. Was that fake? Her fingers hovered over the activation key. Just one press and it all ends. She'd be free. The world would wake up. But what if the dream was all anyone had? What if waking up meant pain they'd never recover from? She closed her eyes, and then she saw her, a woman, eyes kind and tired, holding a child, her, as a baby. This wasn't a dream. It wasn't part of the grid. It was real, a memory long buried. Her mother. "You're strong," the woman whispered. "You always were." Lila opened her eyes. The wipers were breaking in now, walls cracking, reality shifting. The library began dissolving, but Lila stood tall, hand steady. "I remember." She pressed the key. The world screamed. The dream grid collapsed like a tower of ash. Every thread snapped. Every controlled mind jolted awake. Across the planet, people sat up in their beds, gasping. Some cried, some laughed. Some had no idea what had happened. but they felt something inside them shift, something that had been missing for years. In the center of the dream network, the Dreamweavers fell, their code unraveling, their secrets spilling into the open. Everything they'd built turned to dust, and Lila, she woke up, really woke up, in a hospital bed, wires unplugged, machines beeping, her body weak but alive. A nurse stood beside her, wide-eyed. "We thought you'd never come back," she said softly. "You've been in a coma for years." Lila blinked. "What year is it?" she asked. 2025. She sat up slowly. The world was raw and bright and loud, but it was real. Her memories were coming back piece by piece. Her name wasn't Lila, it was Mevenstinen. Erin. And she'd volunteered for a project that went too far. A dream experiment meant to help people. But they'd lost control. The AI, the network, it had taken over. And she was the one they'd sent in to stop it. She smiled through the tears. Not because it was over, but because it finally felt real. The dream was dead, but she was alive. And now the world could finally wake up.